Praise the Lord. Again, this is Officer DeRoy Cruz, your Life Applications Officer. This is part 5. I'm done talking about this subject. Unless commentators come at me with some things and I have to make a video, put you in your place. Anyway, it's kind of ironic and funny because I just noticed Red Ice a few days ago, like a week ago. And I've been watching a lot of her stuff, and I'm just totally knocked out because I figure I'm part of the alt-right. You know, and I'm thinking all the white people that are alt-right, if that's what they call us Trump supporters that are not into the new American identity, we're into the old one that basically took us as slaves. We're not into this white guilt. Get rid of white pride, okay, while we keep our own. I'm not into that. I'm alt-right. I'm not a leftist. I consider myself an alt-right. I'm a Republican. Been a Republican most of my life. I voted Democratic once, and that was because a lot of my black counterparts was voting for Bill Clinton. Lord forgive me, I helped that crazy man get in office. That's the only time I voted Democrat is when Bill Clinton got in office. And I really didn't know much about Bill Clinton. But all the black folks at that time, because I was listening to black folks, I wasn't listening to much white folks. Listening to black folks at that particular moment in history. I was listening to black folks, and they wanted me to vote for Bill Clinton. They had me thinking that they had some political... And you know what? When he started off talking, the first year of his campaign, I was kind of impressed with the man. I thought he was kind of smooth slide, you know what I'm saying? Until I heard the other side. The side that I go to church with. They had a different opinion of Mr. Bill Clinton. But, I'm closing with this. Did I forget to say Merry Christmas? Merry Christmas. It's about 12 minutes after 10 here in Pittsburgh. The day after Christmas. This is the last of my little short vacation. I got to get up tomorrow and go to work. I had a good time. I cooked me a good dinner for today and yesterday, and I just got done eating dinner a little while ago again, and I did some things today that I want to do, like paint. Yeah, paint. Painting is something that white folks and black folks can do together. Art. Sharing art and music. I have white friends that I share music with. Being I'm not, into 100% rap culture. Okay? I love to play instruments. I love all kinds of music. Maybe even 1% rap music. Okay? Depending on who it is and what they're singing about. Okay? But what I've done today here, and I get on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I shared some of it on Facebook, and I had fun today. I played a little bit of ukulele. I might even play a little bit of guitar before I go to bed. And I did some painting today. More than I usually do. That's the whole point. To do more on my vacation than I do do more for myself on my vacation than I do when I'm working. And I did that today, so I'm full. I feel good about myself. I feel good. I'm going to play some guitar and then some video games, and then I'm going to bed, and then tomorrow is back to the drawing board. But, Merry Christmas, and let me talk about the picture that Miss Red Ice, what's her name? Lana Lockteff is preaching about. Her in the Red Ice Network. The picture that I'm receiving from them when they talk, they're saying that because of all the aggravation, okay, that's going on with, and they're putting all this brown skin stuff together, which I think is racist. There's a fine line between Black Lives Matter and Islamic terror. And I know Colin Flaherty. I know Colin Flaherty would disagree. It's all the same to him. Because your problem is not with black folks, as Miss Red Ice put it. It's with brown skinned people. Period. So, you're against and a lot of people consider Asians to be the only. That's why you know some whites don't mind being called Caucasian, because they consider Asians to be white folks. They consider Asians to be, their DNA to be more geared towards white than to blacks or any other brown skinned nation. And the problem with that is, I've said it before, going back to the fossil record, everybody came from black. And the more melanation you have in your skin, the more you still didn't come from black. Okay? You still come from blacks. So the Asians might come in number 4 before we get to white people, but they're still melanated. There are less cancer cells in their pigment than that there are in whites. Of course, Asia has some diseases flowing in that country that don't flow nowhere else. But Asians are just as tribal and have been just as tribal as all their other brown-skinned cousins. Okay? And when you see how easy it is for Asians to look like me overnight, you need to think about some things. Okay? They might have a high IQ, but that don't have nothing to do with you. Anyway, this is the picture that Mr. Colin Flaherty and people like David Duke and Miss Lana Lockteff are painting. This is the picture. Because of the problems of so-called multiculturalism. Now, defining multiculturalism, first of all. To me, multiculturalism is everybody gets to have their way. which that's not going to happen. You're worried you're worried too much. Now, multiculturalism in different places is different things. For example, in California and Texas are very Mexican, very Spanish. Different colonies of Spanish people. The number of Mexicans and Spanish in Texas and California equal the number of I guess whites, and blacks coming in third place. Okay, from all filling up all the ghettos in California, I guess. I'm assuming from what I hear from people that travel the country. You go to Arizona. That's they say, Arizona is the capital of Native America. Okay, so you go to Arizona. It's not like there's 100 reservations out there, but yet all the Indian people, and I hear that they own casinos and they own property. A lot of white people are living on property that's owned by Indians over there. And so they feel that that's overpopulated multiculturalism, and they feel that that they don't like feeling like they're under the power of Native America. Also, if you go to Michigan, I just found this out this month, maybe last month. Within the last 60 days, I found this out. You go to Michigan, the number of Arabs practicing Islam equals the number of whites living in the best cities of Michigan. From what I hear from people that travel the country. And, they got their neighborhoods all over the place where don't nobody dare to go but them. And if that's true, okay, I kind of agree. That worries me. But see, Miss Lockteff, sweetheart, it worries me too. So here's the picture. Because of Islam, nasty Mexicans, okay, Jews who are so arrogant, okay, and think you think that they're greedy, and I gotta admit, I mean, I think that we can do without Jews that aren't Christian. Now, when it comes to Messianic Jews, back off, because I'll kick you where the sun don't shine. I'm sticking up for the Messianic Jews. I'm sticking up for even the Judaic people because I believe that their day is coming when they shall return and accept that Christ is coming back for them, and they don't want to miss it. Leave the Jews alone, man. Leave them alone. Because when you deal with the Jews, you're dealing with prophecy. And it ain't Islamic prophecy either. And it ain't strictly Jewish prophecy. It's biblical prophecy. You need to leave them Jews alone. Okay, now I'm not talking about Zionists or secular Jews or Jews I'm talking about Christians and Judaics in their own country. I was shocked today to hear that the show that I just watched on Red Eye, she was talking to the Syrian girl, and the Syrian girl was, spilling the beans on what's actually going on in Syria, and what's actually going on in Europe and different places that she's traveled, and she was, I think, a girl that got sexually assaulted going, getting off the plane in one country or something like that. And it'd been a while since that happened. And then she started her blog shortly after, and now she's part of the alt-right, because the whole Syrian thing, even though that's where she's from, the whole Syrian thing ain't working out for her. And I didn't know that Miss Lana is Russian. So now she's Russian. And because there are Russians in Syria, and Syria is a little bit less secular. I mean, they have a majority secular population, but she's okay with the religious side of it taking care of the country, which is not Christian, it's Islamic, of course. Okay, she's confusing me, because she does a lot of complaining about everything that's brown skin, and then she says stuff that just because there's Russians living in Syria, oh, she's in support of Syria. And these Russians are supposedly, I don't know how they got to Syria, why they can't live in Russia, but that's another story, I guess. But anyway, the picture that Miss Lana and people like Colin Flaherty and David Duke are quoting about. I'm not talking about your videos. Your videos are your videos. If they're the truth, they're the truth. I'm not knocking it. I'm about stuff that comes out of your mouth that ain't got nothing to do with black mob violence, Mr. Colin Flaherty. I'm talking about stuff that comes out of your mouth. Okay? How come all the white women, Mr. Colin Flaherty, that I've dated and been around, how come they ain't dead? Okay, maybe it's because I'm not interested in killing them. Maybe it's because I like them. And have you ever, Mr. Colin Flaherty, have you ever seen a bunch of white men with weapons on their belt talk to a black man about what they like to do to a black woman? All I could do is walk away. You think that it's all about black men just wanting to rape the planet. But, oh, I wouldn't dare tell a group like Black Lives Matter some of the stuff that I have to listen to on the job. Some of the stuff that I have to listen to when I go into a white neighborhood. My pants ain't sagging off my behind, okay? And I'm dressed for the occasion. I'm not dressed like a black man or a thug or a person from Black Lives Matter. I'm dressed like an American. I'm dressed like the culture that I'm in. And I go into a white neighborhood, Mr. Colin, and the way I get treated, because why? They fear me more than they fear these thuggies out here. Your so-called fellas, as you call them, that are down with the cause, as you call it. I'm not down with the cause. I'm not one of the fellas. Okay? But the picture that you're painting, the three of you, and many other so-called, I guess, white nationalists, if that's what it is. The picture that y'all are painting is because of all this nonsense coming from blacks, Arabs, Mexicans, Jews. We're going to build a wall. A wall that Donald Trump ain't even talking about. We're going to build a wall. And we're going to let everybody that's brown skin, we're going to leave them on the other side. We're going to make them pay for it. That's what you're saying. Donald Trump spoke about building a wall to protect the American people. America is already a diversity, a melting pot. We all know that. But according to Miss Lana, no, it's not. It's just a matter of waking up white folks and getting them to take their rightful place and segregate themselves, separate themselves, and show the world who they are. You might as well go down to the KKK capital of, what is it, Memphis, Tennessee, or whatever city that is, and go down there and just yell white power. The problem is, we have yet to know and understand that to deal with racism, you don't create racism. You create a remedy against racism. Okay? You don't stop gun violence by going and buying a gun and just pointing it at everybody that moves, that gets close to you. You know, what you're doing is just as dumb. What you guys way of thinking about how to fix the problems in this world, your ideas are about as dumb as a woman is having too much problem with men. She keeps breaking up with men. Men are jerks. Men are insensitive and uncaring and just, just dogs. So what does she do? She turns gay and becomes a lesbian. Go get herself a girlfriend. And that's what you're doing with this whole idea of separation. And it's easy for you because you know that at one time it is true. This nation, and this is what is so racist about it, you're going back in time. See, Black Lives Matter, what do? They go back in time. Back to slavery, back to the civil rights movement. And then what do? You go back in time. I'm against Black Lives Matter. Last thing I want to do with Black Lives Matter is go back in time, because to me, we're supposed to be moving on beyond that. But you're doing the same thing. White folks going back in time, like anything righteous they did back there was righteous. You're going back in time to that time when this nation was occupied by nothing but white folks. You had all this room out here for somebody that was looking for a place to live. And the truth is, here in America, white folks aren't being pulled out of their segregated neighborhoods and forced to put Muslims or blacks in their homes and being deported or told to live for less money or told to pay these super large taxes because Miss Lana thinks that this country hates white people so much. And I do believe that we have fallen far from the tree that put all this together. I agree with you, Miss Lockteff, on that part of it. However, you're wet behind the ears in your ideas of dealing with it. Separation, we was already separated when we got here. We wasn't over in Africa looking to come over here. We were sold into slavery by our own people. Okay? And brought over here by the white man. If you want to call him white. I really don't see white as a race, and I really don't focus on white people. I focus on Americans. I don't focus on black people. I focus on Americans. But when you have to make a distinction, okay, what, you talking about white man? Oh, you talking about that white dude? Okay, well, does it matter? Oh, wait a minute. You don't mean American, you mean African American. You mean a black dude, right? You know, he's not really an American, he's a black dude. See what I mean? And how often do I hear people talk like that? Diversity versus laws and politics. Love versus separation and selfishness. Okay? I agree with you that this country was founded on French, European, okay? I don't think they called themselves just white folks in the beginning. White and black are terms that we use to separate ourselves from each other. Okay? And obviously, once the term American came out, then right off the top of your head, even some black folks, a lot of black folks don't consider themselves real Americans. Okay? Why? I consider myself a real American. Okay? What continent can you send me to where I speak another language as a first language? Where I know the culture, where I know the politics, I know the president, I know the people in the big house and the political leaders of that country. You know what I'm saying? I support that country. What country is that other than the United States, Miss Loftek? For you to talk about separation is almost like talking about putting black folks back into slavery, because we were separated when we got here. You were separated when we got here. Remember the Civil Rights Movement? I got relatives much older than me that remember throwing white women down flights of steps in high school because she came at him with a baseball bat. Not because he did anything wrong to her, but because her boyfriend, along with a lot of other white men and white females, didn't want black folks going to their schools. And black folks wasn't doing anything then like they are doing today. Yeah, sure, there was crime in the black community. And some, you know, Emmett Till, I think his name was. He didn't do anything but look at a white woman, or, you know, like he wanted to go out on a date with her. He was just, honey, you know. He was making some noise when he was looking at her, and she knew what he was doing. She knew that he was just admiring the scenery. But at that time, that was a crime and a reason to not only kill a black man, but kill him in the most gruesome way. Are we talking about white people here? Or are we talking about Muslims? So, the picture is, you're so mad, Miss Locktiff, that you're so mad at what's of the Muslims taking over Europe. You're going to take it out on the Americans and try to tell people here in the United States how to separate themselves from black folks. Arabs, Turkish people, Palestinians, Jews, everybody that ain't white. You haven't decided what you want to do with the Asians yet. You got them on the sideline. I guess you're assuming that if enough white men sleep with enough Asian women, their kids won't come out looking Asian. I guess that's what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking about Asians. Why they're melanated people? Why are they treated? You know, why do they get a free pass? But you did ask, with your racist behind, how many Asians are over there in Syria, and how many Asians are over here, and what are they doing? How many Christians in America are white and non-racist? Miss Locktiff. How many? I agree with you, though, that there is a lot of different cultures, and my answer, first of all, to diversity is that I think it's racist to try and cancel anybody's diversity. I think what you should do is make sure your diversity is in the lineup or on the same level and the same right as everybody else's. And I believe you need to push, our foreign policies, and you need to stand in front of the White House and protest, not protest white, not get up there and yell white nationalism. You get up there and yell white nationalism, you might as well yell white power and put a KKK sign on your chest. No, you get up there and you yell that we want to put America. Oh, Donald Trump said it real good. Let's make America great again. I knew what he meant when he said that. I know that black people are out of control. I know that Arabs are out of control. I know that there's Mexicans coming in here and getting real arrogant lately. I know all this stuff. I work with people that travel the world. I work with people that got money. They travel. They do the same thing you do, Miss Locktiff. They travel, and they come back and they give me a full report because I know how to ask. Okay? We got black people that travel the country too, Miss Locktiff. We got black folks that been to Africa. Probably for the same reason your white behind was over there. Because they wasn't planning on staying. Okay, and they got problems with Africans and they got problems with blacks. Just like you do, Miss Lockdeath. Just like you do, Mr. Colin Flaherty. They're tired of seeing the fellas on the Colin Flaherty channel just as much as I am, Mr. Colin Flaherty. We're not that much different. But to feel that we have to be different when we're already not that much different, we have to make a distinction in order to make ourselves feel proud. Where is that pacifier? Where is that bottle of Infamil? I thought white people were better than this. I really do. The world is separated by demon rulers. In other words, this situation is spiritual, Miss Lockdeath. It's not about some daggone IQ. Give me a break. If it was about a daggone IQ, okay, then there would be no such thing as KKK members, because where's the IQ in that? There would be no such thing as white folks attacking Trump supporters. Where's the IQ in that? Is that black blood that Eminem got in his body that makes him sing them stupid rap tunes? Sounding like just like black folks? Where's the IQ in that? It's spiritual. It's not scientific. All you atheists. It's spiritual. It's not scientific. The world is separated by demon rulers and morals and immorality and mental outlooks, politics. Many people want to be territorial. But this leads to what? Excuse me. Eventually that's going to lead to war. Haven't we already been there? Hasn't it led to war before? The uprising of Islamic states and terrorism needs to be shot down. I agree. Because that is unfair to the freedom that we have built in this country. In this country, anyway. I agree. But to think that black folks don't care about these things. We don't care about Islamic terror. We don't care about what ISIS is doing. We don't care. We're taking sides with them like you talk like that, Miss Lockdeath. That's very racist. What are you thinking? I care about, and I'm worried about terrorism just as much as you are. I'm worried about these Mexicans coming across our borders just like you are. But we're on the same page, Miss Lockdeath, but at the same time, you feel that you're too good to live in the same country with me, or I don't deserve to live in this country with you. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do a part B to this. This is the finale of this. I'm done with this. And part B will be less long because I'm going to just finish what I've finally written down here. And what I decided I need to get off my chest. So I got more important things to worry about than white nationalism. Just like I got more important things to worry about than Black Lives Matter. American lives matter, regardless of their ethnicity. God bless you. Merry Christmas. I will see you in the next video. If you got something to say, you're welcome to spit it out and make sure it's something that we can discuss peaceably, like real Americans. Discuss things peaceably. God bless you. I'll see you soon.